It came to my knowledge with the newest post from Wuthering Waves. They have literally posted like a huge spreadsheet with the new echoes, but they also have dropped some information about the utility flight feature, which is apparently gonna be a new gadget in the new region. Now, with a huge bummer, the community is kind of disappointed already with saying this specific line here. Flight is a utility specific to Rinascita regions. Pretty much confirming this is a region-locked gadget. This got now people talking. I asked a lot of other creators, I asked my community what they think about this, and the majority pretty much they want flying in every region. And I think in this video, we're just going to talk about this topic. I think it's a nice debatable question. Do we need this in every region? Is it bad that it's region locked? Does it make sense it's region locked? Or would it make sense if we get it in the future in other regions as well? Before we jump into this, I think this video will explain it pretty much very well. So shout out to actually a smaller creator called Rinascita. Give him a sub. He actually made this video quite enjoyable to watch. So let's watch this real quick. Then I'm gonna add my opinion to this.
Oh, I had a feeling the flight mechanic is currently going to be region locked. I gotta say, I'm not super surprised. I was hesitant when I first saw flight, and unfortunately I was right on that. I sort of guessed it because of how it was labeled as flight challenge, and I also want to point this out since they also subtly told us based on how they
Definitely they did not do a good job explaining what it actually was in the live stream. I think a lot of people were confused, but with this new post pretty much confirming it that it's a utility and it's only gonna be available in Rinascita. They kind of dodged it in the live stream too, right? They have not said in the live stream this is gonna be only in Rinascita. They kept it pretty vague. Actually quite smart to maybe avoid a little bit of backlash.
laid out the traversal mechanics. They said they'd go with exploration, then listed off the permanent things available anywhere, i.e. wall running, parkour, and unlimited stamina, but then went into the not widely available things, meaning the leap devices and elusive sprints, which are only seen in certain regions but aren't specifically locked. They just aren't present anywhere else yet in the open world, like you see them in Elusive Realm, for example.
Yeah, not yet. We don't know if it's gonna be a thing in future updates, right? Maybe this is actually gonna be in 2.0. Who knows? I mean, this is like the good starting point, I guess, for our conversation here. Because in the end, comparing this to Genshin, which everybody will do, comparing this to Genshin is a bad comparison. Because Genshin has way worse general traveling. The Genshin traveling is freaking frustrating as hell. You have stamina consumption just by sprinting. Actually, your sprinting is not as fast as in Wuthering Waves 2. You have wall running. You have so many better traveling mechanics. Also, the grappling hook, I think, is the best freaking gadget that every freaking game needs. Well, Genshin has it, but it costs $300, pretty much. Comparing this to Genshin is not really, really good. Because I think a lot of people would agree even that we don't need flying in the old zones. Because in the end, your traveling is already fast enough. You have so many fast traveling mechanics already that help you. Because let's be real, if you want to go somewhere, you're going to teleport. You have such fast running, no stamina consumption. You have grappling hook and wall running and so much smooth parkour. We don't really need flying, but I also want to say players still want it. But let's let him cook a little bit more before we go into this a bit deeper.
That point on, if you continue down that logic, then yeah, they did tell us, quote unquote, without actually having to say it and kill the hype mid 2.0 stream. Very, very clever, Kuro. I see what you're doing here.
Yeah,
I do think that's kind of important. So,
easy dodge.
Yeah. Regardless though, yes, this is a point of contention, and I want to touch on it because it asks.
1 second.
So?
Please don't make the Elytra a region lock feature, please. My disappointment is immeasurable. My day is ruined. I have an idea for wings for other areas when the exploration at 80% allow us to use them. I also saw a lot of people say this, by the way, which I think is a great idea. Because I'm also somebody that thinks that the exploring is not as rewarding as I wish it would be. Getting asteroids and a little bit of rewards here and there is not enough for me to explore an area to 100 or 80%. I want something better. And if they actually would add the flying feature to every old region as part of the achievement when you 100% it, I would literally explore everything 100%. If I am able to fly afterwards. If they're actually gonna do this, this is an insane freaking good idea, by the way. And I think also a lot of people were literally recommending this to the developers. I think a lot of people are ready to give feedback about this. People will already fill out forms already, as I saw it. You can literally see it here. My next survey, please remove the region log. I think it's just a great idea to actually add the flying feature later on, maybe in 2.1, as an achievement for 100%ing the map. Or like a specific region. If you explore Black Shores 100% or 80%, you can fly. If you explore Jinzu or Huanglong, whatever the region is called, to 80 or 100%, you can freaking fly. It will actually incentivize players to explore. People like me that have pretty much not 100% the map, because I don't think it's as rewarding.
Attention, and I want to touch on it because it asks, how are you feeling after hearing this? And additionally, is there room for this becoming a permanent unbound feature? Like, for me, it doesn't really kill the hype at all for Rinascita, but I can imagine for some it will, it kind of already has. As for the second question, I think it can be, but honestly, I think it won't be until much later on. I think Jinzhou and everywhere else would need to be expanded to fit this new gadget, or they would need to find some way to semi-rein it in. So
yeah, I think a lot of people are saying this as well, that the old zones were not built for flying. So also we have to give the developers time, actually make the zones ready for flying. It might be there's some bugged out skyboxes. It might be that the game is going to bug out suddenly if you reach a certain point in the air. You know, we have to give the developers time to make it ready. But I still think it would be a crazy good idea. It also would just make the overworld experience just even better. Because in my mind, I think fun should never be region locked. Because in the end, flying is fun. And everybody wants to have fun in the game. Let's be real. Flying is fun. It should not be region locked. Put it everywhere in the freaking game. Because also I want to say, people will get used to flying. It might be feeling like you are counterproductive if you just run around instead of flying at some point. You're gonna fly around for a straight month in Rinascita. You will feel like less efficient. If you go back to the old zones, people will feel like spoiled about the flying feature, and I can definitely see that people want flying in every zone later on. As someone in chat already said, this might be not a problem now, but it could become a problem in the future, when people are more used to the flying. And walking will feel like it's a waste of time.
Exploration isn't, I guess, too easy or something. I don't know, you know, it's kind of weird, like, people are kind of
actually hold a life enjoyer.
weird about exploration stuff, and so, I mean, I don't really know where to gauge this, so I mean, what are your takes on this? I also want to say too, don't freak out too much, considering Crow's generally been good on listening to players thus far.
Yeah, 100%. You know what? I'm so hopeful about this, by the way. One of the biggest things, they actually can show off how they are ready to listen to player feedback. And I'm pretty sure they're gonna say something about it. I think they're also gonna address this, and they might even fix it, chat. Let's be real. It's Kuro Games.
So just continue to give your feedback on this and let them know that we'd like...
What the hell is SpongeBob doing there? I mean, I get it. She's freaking hot, but come on.
this freedom to be extended out to anywhere. Secondly, I think for the foreseeable future, like 90% of people will just be chilling here in Rinascita.
But what if in the future they want to sell you a unit that can fly? Well, I think there's already a game that did that, and I think people hated that. Locking behind traveling mechanics with characters didn't really hit the community that good. Let's be real. I think a certain game already did this. Wasn't the best freaking action they could have taken. I don't think Kuro Games is gonna ever do that, by the way. Never.
A new area means a new...
Also, I mean, we have Shorekeeper, which actually travels faster than running. But this is another argument where I'm saying the traveling in the game is already fast enough. So it doesn't really make sense to give characters better traveling. It's already fast enough. You have even echoes that have travel abilities. So if you want to, you can go faster even with just items in the freaking game that you get for free. You don't have to spend money at all. And in the end, I do think we're gonna get flying anywhere. We're gonna get it. I'm pretty sure. I also want to say, since he doesn't really talk about this, it definitely makes sense that the flying is region locked right now. Because if you look at all these freaking high mountains, Rinascita is definitely a zone that needs that flying feature. 100%. And it doesn't really make sense if you look at Jinzu, the old zones, because the old zones are not really that crazy high. Flying doesn't really make sense in the old zones. Compare this to this, we need flying. This is an insane freaking landscape where you would spend so much time just wall running, right? But flying is gonna change everything here. And they have specifically built this new region for the flying feature. We have seen the IGN gameplay, which literally this exploration quest that they have shown, you need the flying feature. Otherwise you cannot traverse in this freaking area. It's a freaking part of the whole update. So it definitely makes sense being region locked for now, but we still want it, right? We still want it everywhere. take your time, tell us it's gonna be ready soon. That would be my ideal.
To Rinascita, so there is that. The other bright side is that this gadget will just be here for everyone. It's not locked behind a chance via gacha. So by that fact alone, there's more than enough hope that flying and future mechanics for exploration can be accessible. We just gotta give them our feedback and time. I will say to approach any incoming future videos about this with a more level-headed mind.
Holy Elden Ring, by the way.
As I'm sure the content creators here will act as if life itself is dying on the doorstep.
No, actually, I don't think it's such a big deal. I've seen a lot of people that are very mature about it. And let's be real, chat. We're gonna spend most of our time in Rinascita anyways. Nobody's going back. You don't really need to go back anytime soon. We're gonna spend a whole freaking month in a new zone. We're gonna explore everything with flying. But after a month, it would be nice if we at least get like an announcement for the old zones. Would be nice.
100% expect to see the global drama sphere make a mountain out of a molehill with this information and make it like a 10 or 15 minute video. So just saying, look out for those videos.
Good stuff, good stuff. Yep, exactly what I wanted to talk about. Win, Zenith, everybody subscribe to him. Great freaking video. So I have a good comparison that I wanted to talk about still. Because World of Warcraft literally had the same thing going on with the first expansion, Burning Crusade. They literally made available flying in the game, but only in the new continent. They had the same freaking issue. People freaking got so spoiled with the flying in the game, they wanted it in the old regions as well. And it only makes sense. Sadly, in World of Warcraft, I think it literally took years. It took years in World of Warcraft for flying in the old zones. I think it took like 3 years or something. I don't want that to happen in Wuthering Waves as well, okay? I think it was available in Cataclysm, which was another expansion for WoW. They literally had the same problem. If people experience something fun, they want this part of fun in every freaking region. It only makes sense. But yeah, great video. That was pretty much it with this topic. Yeah, subscribe, comment. Let me know what you guys think. Thanks for watching.